Hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday. How are you guys doing? Hey, Diane. It's so nice to see you here today. I am so excited because I have one of my favorite people today, Julie from Parrot's Treasure Chest. And Julie and I love being cats together. I mean, when we go way back to the beginning of doing Instagram live sales, we did our cat sales. So we decided to wear our cat ears today and in the spirit of old times. And I always like to wear my white hair to be kind of matchy-matchy with Julie with her beautiful hair. So, what is everybody up to? It is almost summer. Can you guys believe it? I feel like summer was just here. And with summer comes Christmas in July. So we all have an early Christmas to look forward to. Hey, Shadia. Well, I'm just going to take a few minutes to catch you guys up on what's going on with me, and then we will bring Julie on, give everyone a chance to join. She is waiting patiently backstage. So basically, I am still working on getting through all of the fundraiser items that my husband and I did that impromptu fundraiser sale, which I was not in any condition to take on because couldn't even stand up at the time. My back was in agony from that crazy shot. And then, of course, I have all my regular obligations. So I've been trying to chip away at it in between the stuff I have to do on a schedule. And I'm really hoping to get it out. I know I keep saying this, but I'm really hoping to get it locked in this week and then get back to a zero so I can start fresh and kick my whatnot sales off. I'm really excited about that. So this week I have 2 whatnot sales planned. Hey, Marcia. And by the way, I am still struggling with fatigue, really badly fatigue. Even though I show up and I'm here and I show up to everything because I'm obligated to show up for my co-sellers and my friends. But yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough for me, but hopefully things are going to get better and I'm going to keep pushing through. But just know that. And so Thursday, I'm doing my doll sale and whatnot. Hey, Snowy Bear. And then on Saturday, I'm doing an ephemera sale. And I'm super excited because I've never done one before, but it's something I've been wanting to do. And I have so many fun books and magazines and greeting cards. And so I'm putting packs together, like themed ephemera packs that I'm going to be selling and probably pairing it up with some vegan leather sheets and some fun fabrics and different things. Hey, Ramona. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, and that's kind of it for my sales this week. It's all going to be on Whatnot. And then, of course, I have Doll Inclusive with Cole from Kitschy Flower. It will be on his channel this week. And I'm just kind of working behind the scenes on the big Whatnot vintage community launch that I'm partnering with Whatnot to bring to you guys. So there'll be more details on that soon. I am going to be taking a break from Vintage Dish. I'm not sure what will happen with that. I know that I said that before, and I'm kind of leaning back towards that because, as Julie and I were talking about before I came on here, there's only so many days in the week and so many hours in the day, and I just can't do it all. So I really want to give my husband some attention and build his talk show. Hey, Tanya. And also, he wants to do a vinyl record and music memorabilia sale over on Whatnot Weekly. So I've got to produce that. And I just want to give some time to bringing him back into the game because I've kind of just let him have a vacation in a sense for a couple of years and his fans miss him. So we need to get him back out. And then, yeah, I love it when I'm live and I get messages. I can't redress this right now, but I will get back to them soon. Okay, so let's bring Julie on. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, Julie. She is, so let's bring her on camera, and here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
friend.
everybody. Hi, Amy.
Oh my gosh, look at all of your little mimes in the background or clowns.
Yes, my Perot's. I
Oh,
love, I love Perot. He's such a sad clown, so I just want to love them and hug them and tell them everything's okay.
Well, we want to hear all about that and all about what you're passionate about and you're collecting.
So
So
I can't see the comment. So yeah, if someone says something, Amy, if you could
I'll
let me
pop it up for you. Yeah, right now people are just like, oh my gosh, two of my favorite people, Ramona's here, and Tanya and Shadia, and there's Bella. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. So yeah, I mean, Julie and I go way back to the OGs of
Mhm.
Instagram live selling, and it's been such a journey, and now we're about to take a new journey together and try some stuff out over on Whatnot. So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited too. You know, Amy, I remember you mentioned about the energy, but yesterday was the first time I really kind of delved in and viewed some of the auctions. And man, it is so energetic and it's a lot of fun, like contagious fun.
Yeah, yes, it's a contagious positive energy, especially with my friends at Kennedy's Castle, who go live almost every night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So yes, that's a plug. Hop on over there, and that's Castle with a K. And I do have the Whatnot link here in the video description. If you would like to join, you'll get $10 off your first purchase. I get a $10 credit to buy more stuff, and it is all fun. Then you join and you can share your link with your friends and you can get your credits. So they have all kinds of incentives to
Yeah.
entice us to come there. But Julie, I would love to learn more about you as a person. We know about you as a seller, but we also would love to know who you are as a person, where you came from, your background, your childhood, your passions, your career. Like tell us all.
Tell us all. Okay, let's see. Well, I am a native Texan, and I have been, as far as collecting, ever since I was young, I would say. I think a lot of people's collecting stories begin like this. You know, grandma or grandpa, was a collector or used to take me to the thrift stores and the antique stores. And that's basically my background as well. My grandmother used to take me to the second hands, as she would call them. And, she would buy like vintage jewelry and this and that. So I kind of started going to the resale shops with her at a young age. And then in the 80s, I was really into retro fashion. So I used to buy clothes at the thrift store with new clothes and kind of recreate them and make my own style. So I started really collecting vintage clothes. That was the first thing. I started collecting, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Uh, and but Amy and I do share the same passion when it comes to dolls. I've always loved dolls. My dad would give me a doll every birthday, every Christmas. I remember even when I got my tonsils out, I remember waking up, kind of, in that kind of sleepy mode when you just got out of surgery. And I remember looking to my left, and on the windowsill, there's this beautiful F&B doll wearing this black dress with little rhinestones. And so dolls are just, yeah. And I think a lot of people um, who know me as Parrot Treasure Chest don't really realize my passion for dolls.
Right. So you have to tell us all about it.
Yeah. So,
What you
I,
collect, and what
okay.
kind
So
of
I still do have my childhood dolls, a lot, some of my F&B dolls, as well as one of the very first doll my dad gave me. But I've always collected Barbies, um, and now because I love vintage fashion, antique fashion so much, and just the culture. My favorite decade is 20s and 30s, I would say, and so I'm really into boudoir dolls. And I don't know if you're familiar with boudoir dolls, but they are predominantly French dolls that came out during the 20s. They were real popular in the 20s, I should say. They came out a little bit before then. But the Flapper girls used to carry these dolls around
Oh,
as companions, yes, as
wow.
companions, like who took kind of like an escort. would take them to dates and things like that, and to dances. So it was very fashionable for these flapper girls to carry these dolls. And I will show you an example if you want me
Yes,
to show
please
you one.
do. And why can't we bring that trend back? I want to carry my.
Right. So here's one. Here's a 1920s boudoir doll. She
Oh my
is a
God.
silk, she is a silk face boudoir. Here are her little braided buns. She is French. The French ones are my favorite. She is wearing her silk pajamas, very Art Deco print. And of course, she has to have her feather boa, right?
Oh yes.
So
Wow.
there she is.
That's amazing.
And
And I never knew this.
yeah, so I'm really into boudoir dolls. And if you're interested in boudoir dolls, there is a book out. I have it here. This was it's called Dolls of the Art Deco Era, 1910 to 1940. And you can still find this. This is by Susanna Orion. And anyway, it's a really good book. And it tells
Wow.
you a lot. It shows a lot of pictures of, and I have several behind here. This Perot, for instance, I have another one.
We'll bring them up closer so we can see them.
Okay, I will. So this one is my latest one. He is 1920s, and he is Perot. I just love his features. Look at his tear in his eye.
Wow.
All hand painted, silk face.
It's amazing that they're still intact with silk.
Yes. Now his pajamas look to me like he's from the 1920s, but his pajamas look like to me they're from probably the 30s. So he had maybe his old clothes got damaged, but they made him another outfit. But his clothes are still old. I mean, they're 1930s. So,
Right.
but he came from Germany. I ordered him from a collector in Germany. I'm trying to get used to this camera.
Yeah, it's weird. You're doing great.
Okay, thank you. So, he came all the way from Germany. I had to wait a long time for him, but he finally arrived, and I was just so happy. But yes, he is gorgeous. I absolutely love him. So yeah, so these were made real popular with the flapper girls, and they would put them on their beds. And so that's another name for them is bed dolls.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever saw Sunset Boulevard, but in the opening scene where they show her bed, she has boudoir dolls on her bed.
Wow.
Gloria Swanson does in that movie. So yes, so that's one of my loves, and of course, I love Barbie.
Yes. So is there a particular era that you love or do you just love them all?
I'm really more into the well, it's hard to say because I love her fashion. So I would say
Mhm.
I really like more the early Barbie and also the mod Barbie. I love the mod Barbie. I mean, her clothes are just the grooviest. Like this is a rare 1960s mod outfit
Mhm.
in the original packaging.
Wow.
So, and just look at the back.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I love it.
So yeah, I love the mod Barbie, and of course I like the older Barbie. I have another rare item here still in the package.
Oh my gosh. I love that dress. I mean, that packaging is everything.
I know that's so hard to find them in the original packaging. And see, there's the ponytail Barbie. So that would
Oh,
be the ponytail Barbie era.
I love it. Barbie and Midge.
Yes, Barbie and Mitch. Who remembers Barbie? And I also collect Barbie related items like this right here, this little Barbie record case.
Oh wow, I love
You could
that.
put 45s in there.
How cool. It's amazing those paper sleeves are still intact too.
Oh no. I go to the doll conventions, so I can find a few things there. And speaking of dolls, I wanted to remind everyone that National Doll Day is coming up.
Oh, tell us
And
about that.
okay, it's June the 9th, and it's just a way for people to recognize how important dolls are. You know, and I wrote this a few years ago, and I wanted to read it
Yes,
here.
please.
Oh, sorry, somebody's calling me. Okay. I said, I talk about, you know, National Doll Day, and I said, I've loved dolls all my life, from baby dolls to obviously Barbie. When I was a little girl, dolls helped me to develop creativity and imagination. And having to care for a doll also taught me compassion. More importantly, they were companions during some lonely times in my childhood. For that, I will always be thankful for my dollies.
Aw.
And I think it's important, you know, for people to understand how important dolls are, and teddy bears as well.
Mhm.
And so, you know, if your child or your niece is having a birthday party, you know, remember that, and give them a dolly, give them a teddy bear, you know. I mean, you know, children, you know, children, they never go out of style. A child can hug a teddy, and you know, and it brings them so much joy, and it's not a virtual thing. It's something that you can just, you know, hug and hold. And so I think it's something to remember.
It is. I mean, I still have my Snoopy from when I was, I don't
Oh,
know, two, maybe I was 2 years old, and he's missing an eyebrow. And he's,
because you've loved them, so you love that eyebrow off.
I loved it off. I did.
You
And
did.
he's got some little holes in his ears, and he's got Cheeto stains and Kool-Aid stains. But I still have him, and he's still special to me all these years later. So,
Yeah.
and some people maybe don't covet them their entire lives like you and I do, but they then pass them down to their children, and that's
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's where my love for dolls have, you know, began at a young age, because they really do teach you a lot of things. Like I said, you have to care for your baby doll. So you learn those steps of nurturing and caring, and unfortunately some people don't have that at home. So they, you know, so I think there's more underneath the doll than just the surface of what you see.
Mhm. There's
Yeah.
a lot of learning skills like feeding the baby. I had baby alive, and you would feed the
Oh
baby.
yes. I had her too.
I had a baby that got a diaper rash, so you learn that these things happen, and then you treat them.
Wow, I never heard of that one. That's pretty cool.
And I don't know what that one was called. I'll have to look it up. But you would give her the juice, and then she would get this rash on her booty, and you had to.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why that came to my mind. But when you're talking about learning from dolls,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you really do. So, and you know, and of course I love Barbie because like I said, she has such great fashion. And
Mhm.
besides dolls, I do collect teddy bears as well. I like the older ones, the ones
Yeah,
from the 40s and back.
I love him.
This is an American Knickerbocker, and he is from the 40s, and he is really, really cute. He still has, and it has his
Gorgeous.
color. His
Yeah.
coloring is still really, really beautiful and gold, and I just love each bear has really their own expressions, especially the older ones. But he's one. This is Toby. Of course, I name all my bears. This one's
Oh,
Toby.
Toby is so handsome. I'm kind of crushing on him.
Knickerbocker, no, this era of Knickerbocker are very popular, and you can see why. They are
Yeah,
so handsome. They
love
really are.
him.
And then one of my favorites is this one. He is an older one. He is a rare um, violet color one. I think he is French. I need to research him more, but I think he's French, but he is probably late 20s, but he has a secret.
Oh my,
He has bellows in his tummy.
oh my gosh, how magical. I've never,
Yes,
wow.
very magical. And he has these beautiful gray eyes. So his name is Blueberry. That's what his name is.
Oh, I love him.
Blueberry.
I mean, so many things I've never seen before here today.
So yeah, I have a whole collection of antique teddies. They bring me joy.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have a lot of history too. That's part of the reason why I love, old toys too, is because they really have so much history to them. Someone from generations ago, loved on this bear and cared about this bear, and it's just it's very special, it really is. So anyway.
I know, just to think about what all he's been through with his former human companion and the lives that he's lived. It's just so intriguing.
Yes, exactly. What was your first doll ever, Amy, that you do you remember what it was?
Um, hey Diane, hey Bridget, and Ramona. So I have to think about the first doll, but I know that my first toy was a pink, kind of a pink, not, I don't know, that kind of, it's shiny fur, it's almost velvety looking, but it's shiny.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
It was pink and it still exists in storage somewhere, probably back in Georgia, but it was pink. And I guess someone brought that to me when I was first born. So that was my first toy and I kept it, and it's all well loved. Maybe one day I can find it. But I mean, throughout my childhood, I had many favorites that I loved on so much, like my Snoopy.
hmm
And then for a while it was Garfield. I had a Garfield.
Oh, I loved Garfield too.
I had a Garfield puppet, but it was a full body, full body
hmm
puppet. And my Aunt June made this cute little bed for it out of I mean, she really went all out. It was painted and textured. It was painted white out of a cardboard box. I think she must have put maybe white tape on it and she put some kind of textured white on it and used little sewing thread spools for the little feet on the bed. And she cut it in a shape and it had a little Garfield like bumper sticker or something on the
How
headboard. And
adorable.
it was so special. And so Garfield was one of my favorite comfort dolls for a while. And then I had,
See,
of
y'all,
all
she liked cats even back then, y'all.
things, yes. Well, my Aunt June got me into cats because she always had cats, and I spent a lot of time on the weekends at Aunt June's house. So my love of cats, a lot of things came from my Aunt June's influence. But and then I had Scooter of all things from the Muppets. It was a Scooter doll, and he had these really heavy rubber tennis shoes. I remember they hurt if they knocked you in the arm.
Kind of like
And
the rubber Santa heads, that heavy, heavy rubber.
yeah, it's like solid. And his legs were long, so they were always banging around. But I think my dad gave me Scooter, but I think Aunt June might have picked him out. I think I found out in adulthood, but I loved him so much that his eye wore off the paint on the glasses because they were plastic,
Yes.
domed looking eyes, and then Aunt June repainted the eye on that one. And I had Zip the monkey, and I guess I loved him so much that Aunt June made him a new little beanie hat because he lost his hat. And I remember his fur was all not furry anymore. So then it became my Cabbage Patch Kid and the Care Bears. So there were
Yeah.
so many special ones that I attached myself to. And then as far as actual dolls, I was never really into Barbie, although people would buy Barbies for me, and I thought that their clothes were pretty and stuff, but I never really related to them.
Right.
Um, but there were a few. It was always the clothing that I was drawn to. I'm like, oh my gosh, peaches and cream Barbie. My mom got me an Easter basket one year in that beautiful chiffon.
Beautiful peach chiffon. Yeah.
And that was magical. And then I loved the one with the hearts, the little velvet hearts on it I got for Valentine's Day one time, and Crystal Barbie. I mean, it was always the outfits that I loved.
Yeah.
But it was strawberry shortcake and the little glamour gals that were little tiny skinny dolls. My grandmama bought us those. The strawberry shortcakes were my biggest dolls that I
Those were
love.
the
And then the littles, they were like little kittles, but they were called the littles. And they had this metal furniture, and I really, really loved those. But I also was really big into Star Wars and action figures and He-Man. So yeah, so boy dolls.
Were you into She-Ra also?
Yes, yes. I still have my She-Ra. I still got to finish getting my cabinet refilled from when I took everything out to play with the kids on Zoom in 2020. They're all in a bin over here, but I still have some of my She-Ras. I do want to recollect and fill out my collection. My sister had a lot more of the She-Ra figures than I did, and I was always jealous because I was
Now,
starting to get older. So then she was getting more of the newer toys, and I still wanted them, but I was, people were thinking, "Oh, Amy doesn't really need this stuff now." I do.
Now, didn't She-Ra have a cat, like a villainous cat lady or something?
Catra.
Catra,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do you could be Catra with your hair, and then I
There you
can
go.
be Shira, and we can do that for Halloween.
What was the name of She-Ra's Pegasus that she
I
would?
think it was Swiftwind, I
Oh, I
think.
don't remember, but I remember that show for sure.
Oh my god,
Watching it.
when the movie came out, it was so exciting. I saw it in the theaters. I think my grandmother nanny took me and my sister Ivy, but it was just like, oh my gosh, there's going to be this, big reveal, and we find out that He-Man is She-Ra's twin brother. Like, what?
I know.
Or I should say,
The
She-Ra is
big,
He-Man's twin sister. And it was just like
that was
a
a
jaw
big
dropper.
deal. I
Yeah.
know. That was a really big deal when that was revealed. It's like, what?
I mean, it was almost on the level of Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker's
Taylor
father and
Swift.
Princess Leia being his twin sister. It was all these things that happened from that era of childhood that I don't even know if anything like that happens nowadays, but it was exciting.
Thank you for reminding me about that because I had completely forgot about that She-Ra and He-Man tie like that.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
that
a
was
blast from the past.
that was a great spinoff. And Shira's land was so magical and colorful. And
It was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course she had Hordak, the evil Hordak, that was her Skeletor of her world. But yeah, it's all still here with me, and I still love it so much. And as I know so many people do, we hold
Yeah.
on to magical times because the world isn't quite as magical now that we're grown ups. So we have to hold on to those feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. And as I get some, I occasionally, I mean, my family understand my, I guess, quirkiness
Hmm.
and my ideal collecting. But some people do ask me, about how I get into collecting or why am I so
Yeah,
into
please
it. And
do tell.
yeah, and it's funny because they'll be, oh, well, do you watch that show on Netflix, blah blah blah? And I'm like, no, I don't watch I don't watch TV. I if I watch TV, it's usually shows on YouTube or old movies, but I don't watch any current. So and I kind of I've never received any heavy criticism, but I know it's kind of seems odd to some people who don't understand. But I like the innocent times of the past. I know not everything in the past was innocent. There was some dark times, of course. But this is my form of entertainment.
Mhm.
Collecting is my form of entertainment. History is my form of entertainment. And what I find kind of bizarre and strange is, and I'm not judging anyone for the the kind of entertainment they like, but when someone kind of, says, "Well, I just think it's kind of, odd." I think watching TV shows with a lot of violence and murder is kind of odd. Like I don't get that because, I'm a very sensitive person in a lot of ways. So watching that, oh, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, why would you want to see some blood and guts? I mean, that's just not my thing, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I have to be in a strong frame of mind. And, my husband likes stuff like that. Sometimes it bothers him too, but like we're trying to finish that series Ozark and it's really heavy, very
yeah,
violent stuff. And it got to we're in the end of it, like it's the end of the series, but I'm just like, I can't watch it at bedtime anymore because, I had nightmares. And then he's like, I've been having nightmares too watching it. So we're only going to watch it during the day. But I've gone through
yeah,
different phases in my life where all I watched was Three's Company or, all I watched was I Love Lucy all the time or
yeah.
AMC and the old movies. Like I've been through all these phases where I've gone through that. And then now my husband and I just watch mindless reality shows that we can just be like, oh my God, and feel much better about our lives. It's like, to believe these people, like, what are they thinking?
Yeah. I just
And
bought I just bought the Brady Bunch box set, so I've been
oh
enjoying
yeah,
that. You
oh yeah,
know, I mean, that show is so cute, and their
I've
clothes
gone
are
through
so
that
cute.
too. Yeah, through watching all the Brady Bunch, and then I went through a whole Leave It to Beaver phase where I watched the entire Leave It to Beaver series again. And I've been craving I Love Lucy again. I'm like, I should start from the beginning and do that again while I'm crafting.
Yeah. Oh,
And
she was so brilliant.
I love
Lucille Ball is just,
And I'm like,
she's
that's how I
amazing.
want my relationship to be, where I'm just like
Oh,
mischievous and my husband's reining me in. But in reality, no, I want to do, no, ain't nobody going to be my boss. That wasn't going to work
it's
in
so
reality.
adorable, Amy. It's so cute.
Oh my gosh, yes. The Shirley Temple movies for sure. I've been through
Oh, yeah.
that
I need to
phase.
revisit those.
Yeah. And I used to look like Shirley Temple when I was a little girl. So
Oh, did you have the little curls?
yeah, I'll have to pull up one of my pictures while we're talking.
Yes, you do.
And yeah, because my granddaddy was a truck driver, so he gave me my CB handle. I can't talk. CB handle. That's one thing getting older. I can't multitask even in my brain as much as I used
You're
to.
not the only one, sweetheart. You're not the
It
only
all
one. Me
changes
too.
for us gals. But Laverne and Shirley marathon. Bridget said yes. I love it. Hey Janice.
Mm.
Um Anyway, oh yeah, so my CB handle was Shirley Temple, and he would let me get on 10-4, 10-4 and talk on the CB. But
Oh my goodness, CB's the only thing I remember because my stepfather had one in the truck, and especially being in Texas, that was a big deal. So I just remember break a 19 for a 1036, which is like, what time is it? We need to do the time before cell phones. So you'd ask the CB, what time is that? But anyway, that's what I used to go on there and say that. Break a 19 for a 1036.
yeah, I love that. I love that. I mean, that's a whole other culture. My granddad
Yes.
loved driving truck. I mean, that was he was there his whole career. He was a truck driver. He won all these, achievement awards and different things, and he just loved it. He ended up um, having a couple heart attacks and then developed some Alzheimer's. So
Oh,
it was very hard for him to have to give it up, because it was his passion.
yeah. So he
Yeah.
was a real truck driver. What did he think about the craze of CVs? Because really, really, truck drivers are the only one. And then all of a sudden, I mean, even people who had Camaros were doing the CV.
Oh, I don't know. He probably thought it was ridiculous because he was not very tolerant. He would do all that kind of grumbling all the time.
Right, right. I
Um,
mean, it really was a thing, y'all. For those of you who are watching that are younger, it really was a big deal. CBs just kind of took off. They even had a CB radio record. I remember we had.
they probably don't even. A lot of people probably don't even know what CBs are. So maybe you can explain it.
That's hard. I don't know if I can explain that.
It was like a radio thing that you talked on a little. speaker box that
Like
had
a
like,
walkie-talkie. Yeah, like a
yeah,
walkie-talkie.
and it was corded like a telephone old style cord to a box that would look like a receiver. And you would press the button 10-4, blah, 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 and then you would let go of it, and then the other person would hear you, or everybody on that signal would hear you, and then they could respond back. And I guess truck drivers just like that was their way of communicating with each other and
Mhm.
keeping each other late, like up late when they had to make those late night drives and stuff.
And
So,
everyone had their own CB name. Like,
yes.
yours was Shirley Temple, and so everyone had their own little CB name that they would communicate back and forth with.
Yeah.
And they had CB Talk, their own little CB, like CB talks too, little code
Mhm.
words or whatever,
Mhm.
language.
Yes. Shadia loved to watch Family Affair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Ramona does not like the Chucky dolls.
I don't either. They're scary.
I don't blame you, Ramona. We don't
They're
like them.
scary. They're scary.
Um, no, I did not make these ears, but Julie and I, we always like to dress up as cats together. So
Yeah.
neither of us could find our regular cats. So cat ears. So we use these. I can't find the picture of me with my grandmama. That is a bigger picture of me with my curly hair. But I have this one of my granddaddy and me
Oh,
holding Snoopy. Let me get this.
so precious. Look at
No,
that, y'all.
I don't think it's, there we go.
Oh, that is so darling. Oh my goodness, look at all that beautiful hair you have,
I
Amy.
know. I
Still.
gotta find, I'll put it on my Instagram later today when I can
That
find
is
it.
so darling. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. So that was my Snoopy. And it's really, oh, that's one fun thing. On this, I always like weird synchronistic things. So on this license plate on my granddaddy's truck is my husband's initials, CN, and the
What?
year he was born, 42.
What in stars?
Yeah, isn't that
Wow,
crazy?
that is amazing.
One day I just noticed that and I'm like, well,
I
I
love
guess
it.
granddaddy approves of my union. That's all I know.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And
That
it's,
is so wonderful.
yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, you have kind of transitioned your shop a little bit from Parrot's Treasure to Parrot's Treasure Chest. So
Yeah.
tell us what that's about.
Okay, so I have two shops on Instagram. I have Parrot's Treasure, where I used to sell mostly vintage collectibles and antiques, toys and vintage ephemera, a lot of kitschy, items. And which I mean, I still do have I collect that still, but also now I'm focusing more on my vintage clothing business. And like I mentioned earlier, I started selling. That's when I first started selling was vintage clothing in the '90s. I started doing that because I had always bought it and collected since I was, in junior high in the '80s. So anyway, so now I'm focusing more on that side of the business, vintage clothing. I really love it a lot. I love vintage fashion. So you can find me on Instagram under Parents Treasure Chest, and I do a lot of live sales there. And so yeah, I've been enjoying that, And on top of that, I am a certified appraiser, a licensed appraiser here, and so I'm trying to balance that with, my shop and like Amy and I were talking about earlier, there's only so many hours in the day. So it's really hard, it's getting
Yeah.
hard for me. Plus balance your personal life. I do
Mhm.
have a home. I try to maintain my home and spend time, with my partner and
We try. We
so
try.
we try. So, so yeah, but that's basically so that's why I kind of had to take a break from Parrots Treasure to concentrate on the vintage clothing business and, being, and then my appraiser business as well. So, but yeah, I don't want it to, I don't like to spread myself too thin, I guess is
Mhm.
a way of saying, putting it. I still want to I enjoy my personal time a lot. It helps me with my creativity as well. If I'm just too busy, just, working, working, I don't really have time for myself or my home.
Right.
And that's really important.
Mhm. Yeah, if only a week lasted 14 days, I would be able to get a lot done. Yeah.
Definitely. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the days go so fast since the pandemic for sure. It's like always Friday in my week. I'm like, it's Friday again? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that well, tell us how you got into live sales. Like how did you discover it and what drew you into it?
Okay. So I was selling on Facebook, and I was doing that, but I wasn't doing any live sales. This was several years ago. I don't even remember how long ago now. Maybe 2017, maybe. I don't even remember. Terrible with dates. So I was selling on Facebook, and there were several little vintage groups they had there. And then I met a girl who was selling on Instagram. So, so I asked her about it. I was like, "Well, how do you do there?" She says, "Oh, I really like it a lot." And I had an Instagram account already,
Mhm.
so I decided to try it out. So she told me about ISN because she was a part of ISN. So, so that's how I got involved in selling. On ISN. Now I had known about ISN because the first I bought these really cute little doll Barbie furniture. I think it was like either a Barbie or doll furniture from Sarah from Instagram and from ISN. And she was like the first one I ever bought from on there. So I kind of was familiar with ISN, but when I met this other girl when I was selling on Facebook, she told me more about it. So I forgot who I contacted, which member of ISN I contacted about it because my friends said go ahead and do that. So I did. So that's how I started off selling on ISN. So then when live sales started to come up, I thought, I'm going to try this out. Of course, I was terrified because back then there wasn't a lot of live sales, and
Right.
you weren't even doing like duo, it was just solo. And I remember the first time doing my live sell, I did all vintage Christmas, and I was so nervous because you kind of are nervous your first time. And I was kind of like holding the item like I did not want anyone to see me.
Aw,
Oh my, I laugh about it now. But so that's how I started.
I love
Uh,
it.
you know.
I love it. And then the rest is history.
The rest is history.
And now
And for
we're
this,
yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
oh, I was just saying, a lot of people, I always hear from people who say, "Oh, I'm so scared to do a live sell," but that's normal feelings because I think a lot of us are. A
Yeah.
lot of us are really nervous. And as many live sales that I have done, I still get nervous. I
Mhm.
still get kind of nervous, stage fright
Yeah.
or what have you.
And that's
Um,
okay.
and that's okay. That's what my point was. It's a natural feeling. You're not the only
Mhm.
one. But once you're doing it, the little butterflies go away, and you get to connect with people, and you may have something in your collection that somebody really wants or needs. And so it's really nice. I've had nothing but good experiences
Good.
selling on Instagram and doing live sales. Never had any really bad experiences. So despite the things that you hear, me speaking personally, it's just been a wonderful experience for me. So
That's great. That's great to hear. I think we have some control in, you know, making it work for us and making our experience how we want it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now we
Definitely.
are gonna go into the next phase where a platform has been created specifically to conduct live sales, whereas we all improvised and took a social media platform and figured out how can we conduct live sales here without the tools. So we did it, and we write everything down, and then we type up invoices and do all of that.
A lot of work, pardon me, a lot of work.
Yeah, I had Pikachu telling me that I have a message, so I need to silence you. Um, yeah, so now we have this platform called Whatnot where everything is built to conduct the live sales, and it's just so seamless for both sellers and buyers. And I feel like I've done my time, and now I've earned the I've earned the opportunity to have it easier. And so I'm just like so excited because everything's automated and you don't have to invoice anymore, and the buyers don't have to send us information, and it's just like all just like you're on eBay in a way, but you still get to have us on screen and engage in real time. So I'm super excited, and I'm excited for you to try it out, Julie. And
I know. I did apply to sell on there, so I'm waiting to hear back. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's hard to describe to someone unless they actually experience it themselves. Like, you had explained it to me, but once, and you explained it really well, but once you're on there, you can really feel the energy, and it's like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is actually, fun.
it's
So yeah, I'm
exciting.
looking forward. Yeah, it's exciting. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to your what's not sale coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, so Thursday will be my doll sale, and I'm doing the promotion where I'm starting 20 dolls at $20 starting bids. And this is just my beginning. So my first sale was very, very fast, and maybe some of my sales will be very, very fast. But then, as just as we did with live, Instagram live sales, we find our flow and how we want to conduct them. And so, I plan on developing and finding how I want my sales to be. And there's a technology that we can tap into where we can have our item, front and center on the camera, and then we can have another square up here with our face in it with a dual camera setup.
That's
So
cool.
I'm going to work on getting that implemented. If not for this week, at least maybe next week. I don't know. I have to get that extra camera. I mean, you can do it with your desktop and your cell phone, but I still want to get a proper webcam and try that. And so I'm looking forward to implementing that technology. And then I'm going to be working with Whatnot to also start building the arts and crafts category.
Yay.
So I'm super excited about that opportunity. And so any of my crafters out there, if you are interested in trying out Whatnot and being part of a launch event for that community, reach out to me, and I would love to speak with you. And I have ideas on how, that can work. And I have plans to just pop on there and do live crafting, and then have my little shop stocked with items like the ephemera packs or crafting kits, creations I've made, vintage fabric or vegan leather, whatever. Like, my shop will be there. And as you're watching me craft and crafting along, doing your own thing, you can shop if you want. And I think that could be really fun. And you can do two people on the same screen. They just don't have the capability to do dual auctions at this time, but they're working on it. So I feel like Cole and I are thinking about maybe taking Doll Inclusive over to Whatnot, and then we're recording it, because that's the thing with Whatnot. It goes away when it's over, it's gone. But if we film our entire process and then we edit those videos and put that on YouTube, I think that might be a better format for YouTube, because nobody except for the people that are there with us in real time are going to go back and watch a 2 or 3 hour crafting show, you know? So if we can condense the highlights and the process down to 20 minutes and put that on YouTube, but those people who want to craft with us live can come on over to Whatnot and
That's a
hang out.
good idea, actually.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
then one of us has their shop right there on screen, but the other one can say, "You can hop over to my shop and check out what I have over there if you would like." And then we take turns. So yeah, so we're thinking about that because it's just set up for selling, and these other platforms, they're not meant for selling. So it's just more work. And for me as an artist, I need more time to be able to create, not doing the work, the admin work that is not what my creative brain wants to do. I don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
it gives me so much of my life back. Whereas if I'm spending 3 hours on a live sale, I could spend 1 hour on a live sale and 2 more hours I could be using creating more amazing pieces of art. So
That's so true, Amy, because doing live sales on other platforms, you still have to invoice, you have to get their information. I
mhm,
mean, it's like you said, a lot of admin work. Where I notice with Whatnot, it's not like that at all. So it really is more. It, it's it's better on the time than
mhm.
those
For
other
all,
platforms.
for buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, I would love for you to weigh in on a core value or values that are important to you and how you implement those into your life.
Okay. Core values. Well, definitely be understanding towards other people, because sometimes, what they seem on the surface may not be what's going on inside. If someone seems cranky or grouchy or, a little distant, or, there may be something going on. So definitely be understanding, and try to put yourself in. I know it sounds cliche, but it really is a good thing to follow. Put yourself in that person's shoes, and you may not know everything that's going on with them. So
Mhm.
I try to do that. I try, if someone is having a hard time or may seem a little grouchy or whatever, even family members,
Yeah.
I try to put myself in their shoes. Okay, maybe they're just having a bad day, or maybe there's something going on, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say, is everything okay? Are you all right? I think that's really, really important for us to do.
Yeah.
And, I'm a Christian, so prayer is a big center of my life. So I definitely pray about everything, and it's about having, love and compassion for each other. And yeah, we all have our own things our own personal life and things in our life that we go through, but that's just life. And
Mhm.
you kind of have to learn how to deal with it, and how to learn how to respond to that, and and definitely, like I said, definitely be compassionate to others, because I'm seeing that a lot around me lately, and I'm trying to learn that, and it's a learning process. Every day, I'm trying to be a better person. Even
Mhm.
at my age, I'm still trying to be a better person and show compassion. That's one of the things I pray to God, Lord, help me to be more compassionate. You know, um, and don't forget, things that you see and that you take in will affect who you are inside, can affect your heart. So be
Mhm.
careful, guard yourself from things, because subconsciously some things do affect you. So
Yeah, that's very true. Be protective of your energy, what you give,
yeah,
what you take, what you expose yourself to. And I always try to, if I see someone acting out or I experience someone acting out, I always try to think, I wonder what, why would they maybe have acted this way? Like what could be going on that could have caused that before I just judge and be like, oh my gosh, I don't like that person. Like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
maybe there's a reason. It doesn't make their actions right, but
Mhm.
sometimes you can understand and give them a little grace, So I love that. And Pumpkin Dog says empathy and compassion are the most important. Yes, thank you for saying this.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
agree.
definitely.
I agree.
Amen.
Well,
Yeah.
Julie, this is my favorite part. I've been over here fussing with her while we've been talking. But this is my favorite part of my show where I get to gift you a
Ah,
special creation as a thank you for being on my show today and just as a thank you for being such a supportive friend and part of my journey in this community. So, are you ready?
yeah, I'm ready. Oh my gosh.
Let me turn this light off so you can see her better. Oh, don't, baby. I've had the vision for this little vintage parrot I've had for over a year wanting to make your
You're making me
doll.
cry, Amy.
You're making me cry. And I will tell you the history on her.
She's beautiful.
I have this friend I met at the antique mall that's a picker. He's a serious picker. And he found this doll in his journeys. And he's been calling me, when can you come pick her up? So I finally did. And she had the perfect color hair for you. And then I dyed it black on the top to make the Julie doll. And I have this
Oh my gosh.
pirate print. And I gave her this fancy Amy's Rock and Pop Shop original designed outfit. We've got the parrot's treasure and
Oh my
everything.
gosh,
So
you are the sweetest.
she is a Bradley, so she's got her
Oh,
wooden face, and look at her little
oh
antique.
my stars, look at her.
So she is
What a surprise.
your
Oh my
special Julie doll.
she is gorgeous. Amy, thank you so
Aw.
much. You are so thoughtful and kind. I will cherish her always.
Well, I cherish you, my friend. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you so much, girl. Thank you so much. She's gorgeous. I can't wait to get her.
Yay! I'm gonna be working on shipping today, so I'm gonna try to get her out. So send me not your email, but your actual snail mail address,
I
and
will. I
her
will.
packed up for you. I probably need to let her hair. Well, it feels pretty dry. I'll let her hair dry today, but I'll get her out. I'll get her packaged.
Oh my gosh. I'm just I'm speechless.
Oh, well, I'm so
It's
glad.
all in here, though. It's all in here in my heart, just so you know.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Amy. You're the best.
well,
And
thank you
thank
so
you so much for being, you're always have been so kind. I know to me, always so kind. And I see the way you treat other people. You truly do show compassion to other people. I've seen many numerous times how you've helped other people. And, I just want to tell you that I totally see all of it. And just thank you for everything that you do for others.
Thank you, and I have to
And
say the same.
continue to do for others.
Well, thank you. You are a light in this community, and I just think you're such an important part. So thank you for being a light. And
You know.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap things up for today. And Julie, do you have anything coming up that you would like to share?
Um, I don't have any cells just yet. I'm trying to get the studio in order, girl.
Oh, girl, I mean,
My studio. I
you
keep
can't get
saying
anything
that.
done with this mess, I'm telling you.
I keep saying no more live sales. Focus on the studio. And that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, just follow me on Parrot Treasure Chest because that's where I post. And sometimes I have spontaneous sales because, like I said, I am so busy with life, so my schedule can be. So anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, if you can just,
And,
I'll post it on my Instagram account.
and Julie's link is here in the video description, so you guys can just click on the little arrow and everything will drop down and you can follow Julie on Instagram at
Oh, thank you, Amy.
yeah.
But I'm looking forward to joining Whatnot.
Yes, definitely.
I'm looking forward to that.
It's gonna be so exciting because we're getting in on the ground floor of our category and we are going to just, go in there and make it happen. It's going to be so fun. So Everybody be sure to sign up. It's totally free to sign up. They do ask you to verify your identity, which some people are a little leery of, but that is because they don't want scammers coming in there, because
Mm-hmm.
it is a marketplace and they take that security very seriously. So they don't want people coming in there and scamming each other and scamming the sellers. So they need to know that you're a real legit person. So it's not anything scary. It's all very secure. So that's how you show them you're not somebody from some other country that's out to, to steal people's information. So just sign up. The link is here in my video description, and many of us are joining, so you can sign up through anyone's link and get your $10 off your first purchase. Whoever you want to support in that way, just follow. And yeah, I will see you guys on Thursday on Whatnot, and then again on Saturday for my first ephemera sale, which I'm so excited about. So all of that will be listed on my Instagram, but Whatnot also allows us to pre-schedule our sales. So as I get dolls made and ephemera packs put together, I go ahead and pre-list them in my shop. So you can go on Whatnot and pre-bid. Eventually, I'm going to do some buy it now. So be sure to check out the little stores when you see people have shows scheduled and see what they're bringing. All right, Julie, well, have a wonderful week. Thank you again
I
so much
definitely will.
for being my guest. And
And you too.
I I will see you soon. And everybody, thanks so much for tuning in.
Bye,
Next
everybody.
time. Bye.